No. All right. I'm gonna trade you 2 sheep for that wood. Tell me, honey, does that sound good? 'Cause all I really wanna do is take away longest road from you, yeah. Welcome to these tabletop sessions. Welcome to these tabletop sessions. Hello, fellow gregarious geeks and gamers, and welcome to the 48th episode of the Tabletop Sessions podcast. This is your monthly dose of tabletop gaming stories and shenanigans. My name is Elias, and with me today for number 48, a semi-perfect number, it's a semi-perfect person. Hi, Hippocrates.
Hi guys, this is Ippo, and I'm glad we're doing the 48th episode. And I really want to know if there's any listener that have listened to all the episodes other than me. I even doubt for you. Have you listened to all?
I've definitely not listened to all.
Really? No.
Yeah, no. Because I listen to them while I'm editing, right? So I don't want to listen to them after I release them. So,
excuses.
Yeah, but how'd you like that math joke? Pretty good, right? Like,
yeah. Why is it a semi-perfect number? What does that mean?
Because not all of its like divisors. I don't know how it works.
I mean, did you made up the term, or is it like a real mathematical thing?
No, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. So, and I thought it was a great description of you, which is semi-perfect. So
I am semi-perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
That's true. That's so
right.
true.
What have you been playing recently, Ipo?
I have been playing. That's actually an excellent question. I have been playing some social deduction games that I'm going to talk about later today. But other than that, just short games, and party games. I haven't played anything heavy in the last month. Have you?
Yeah. No, nothing. I mean, unless you count like Ark Nova and stuff like that as heavy. But so I played Ark Nova finally.
Ark Nova is heavy, right?
So I have like my 2 seconds of thoughts on Ark Nova is like, I really enjoyed it. But it was very multiplayer solitaire. I didn't know what anyone else was doing. And I from my limited experience, I find Terraforming Mars a little bit more enjoyable. They're similar enough, but I like the shared building space and I kind of prefer the theme. But, I liked Ark Nova enough that I'm down to play it anytime. I've played Courtisans. I'll talk about that more. I've played Carson City for the first time. I'll talk about that more. And, of course, we played Gloomhaven because we always play Gloomhaven. But that's really all. I haven't been playing a ton this month. I've been building cabinet doors for my Kallax shelves. So I've been a bit busy.
Cabinet doors. Why?
Well, everyone asks the same question.
For a reason.
Because our gaming table is in our living area. So I wanted the games near the gaming table. And so there's a bunch of games on a massive amount of Kallax shelves. And I owe my wife the dignity of pretending that she doesn't live in a child's playroom. So we're just making some nice rattan style doors to close over the
Elias,
shelves.
It's time to have our own pride. It's too long that we were in the closets. And I have read an article actually about this, that back in the 80s you couldn't say that I'm playing war games. People at that time, that was a serious hobby, but only between the gamers. If you go outside your circle of gamers and say that I'm gonna play a war game this Saturday, people were looking at you like, what are you, a child? What are you doing there? And nowadays you can go out and say
they
no.
Still think that. No, they still think that. You could say it, but everyone's still thinking you're a child.
Yeah, but not the important people anymore. We are the important people now.
Oh, okay.
Only
So
the
it just
ignorance.
shifts.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent.
Okay.
So you're saying I'm quite literally putting the doors back on the closet.
Yes.
And
Yes. I don't want you to go back there.
I'll send you a picture.
I checked my calendar, my app, and I see that I have played a lot of Zendo, like a lot of Zendo in the last month, like more than 10 games of Zendo.
Excellent. What else is worth playing?
I want to say 90% of the people love the game, and there is a 10% that hate the game and say, no, I will never play this again.
Correct. That's the same experience we had. Yeah. For sure. Dima thinks it's a stupid game.
Really?
But I would argue it's because she doesn't get it. So
because she's stupid. She is stupid.
Hey.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, don't say that. I said that. Okay. So I played also.
I know you get protective about Zendo, but calm down. Okay, calm down.
Yeah, I have red lines. I played Rising Sun.
Nice. Cool game.
Also.
Yeah.
Which was cool, but yeah, I mean, I don't want to play it again.
It's bloated.
It's nice to play it, but...
And it took the best thing about Blood Rage, which is that it's done in 1 hour.
Yeah.
And then made it like a 3-hour
Yes, yes. It's very well designed. It's really well designed, but it's 3 hours. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah. It's too much. Yeah.
And I also played Hit, Pedal to the Metal.
Love that game.
We played the whole tournament, 3 games in a row, like a whole Friday, and it's fantastic.
We've done that, yeah.
It's fantastic.
It's really good. We finally got I finished my spring 2024 Toronto no ship math trade.
Oh.
I didn't get a ton of games, but I got good upgrades for sure.
Oh.
My friends who were doing their first one, they got like 8 games and 7 games traded. So it was like a big thing for them. I only got 4 games traded, but I'm very pleased with the 4 games I got.
4 is fine, yeah.
So, yeah, I got Imperial Struggle, so I'm very excited to get that to the table. Yeah. I got Roman Roll, which is like the roll and write I've always wanted to try because it's basically like a full-fledged Euro. Plus, it's got one of the same designers as Tricarion and Anachrony. So I was like, that's pretty good. And then I got Star Trek Frontiers, which is just Mage Knight set in the Star Trek universe. And I was like, yeah, of course. I want that.
Why not?
Why not? And the last one I got was, I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank. Oh, Founders of Gloomhaven, which I've already played and really enjoy. So I'm more than happy to. It's like a really tedious and fiddly attempt at making a Splutter game by someone who's clearly not as good a game designer as the Splutter guys, but it's good enough.
So it has nothing to do with Gloomhaven.
No, you're building the city of Gloomhaven, but the gameplay, no, it's completely different.
Okay.
It's got the same like species and races and roles and stuff like that, but that's it really. But the game itself is quite fun. It's adjacent to like The Great Zimbabwe, and that's one of my favorite games, top 10. So I really enjoyed that. I also managed to trade Golem Arcana for Unfathomable, but then the guy couldn't get Golem Arcana to work because the styluses only work with Bluetooth 4.0, and the world has moved on to Bluetooth 5.0. So he's like, I'm going to have to buy like an old tablet to do it. So he's making me trade back. So I'm going to do that this weekend.
That's a problem only for Golem Arcana. Are there any other games with like technological problems that can games?
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Like, well, with an app, it's always threatened, right? Like if they stop supporting the app, like they should have updated the app to work through Bluetooth 5.0. But the company got purchased by another company, and they stopped supporting Golem Arcana altogether, which is crazy because at the time, that Kickstarter made over $500,000, and that was pretty big back then. So like, for you to just completely drop it when people have spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on these things, it's a bit messed up, in my opinion. I don't have that same problem because I bought most of my miniatures when they were shutting down, so I got them for like $2 a piece. So
Oh,
I'm not like mad about it. But so now I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep it in storage, and then in like 15 years it'll have a renaissance, and people will be like, "Oh my God, you have an original copy of Golem Arcana?" I'd be like, "Yes, pay me $2,000."
or until an alien civilization will find out, will excavate
Exactly.
Toronto and find
Well, I was thinking
this.
more I would retire on the riches of Golem Arcana.
That's a
Yeah.
good, headline. Retiring
This is
in
my
the riches
financial
of
plan.
Golem Arcana.
This is my
This
retirement
guy
plan.
retired in the riches of Golem Arcana. I would read that
Um,
article for sure.
Yeah. Either I'll retire off the money I get for it, or you can bury me in the amount of miniatures I have for Golem Arcana. You just make a burial mound out of it. Put me underneath.
Since we're talking about the math trade, I want to mention that we are trying to do the first no shipping math trade in Doha, and we are so much thankful to you because you are our godfather. You're gonna help us, or you're our
Technically, we already
consultant,
did
maybe.
the first no shipping math trade in Doha.
Did you?
It was the TTS no ship math trade that we did before I left.
But that
You were
was
in it.
a trade, but not a math trade.
I mean, it was a math trade, but everyone just ended up trading with me. So it was a bit weird.
Really? No, we didn't
Yeah.
submit,
Yeah.
did we?
No, we did. We have the OLWG and everything.
Oh
It's
my
in my
God.
history. Go to your
My,
history.
my
The
memory,
online want list generator.
my memory
Yeah,
really
it comes with
needs
age.
upgrade. It's like Bluetooth 1.0. It's like Windows 3.1. Anyway, I don't know.
Okay. That was a good system. 3.1.
That was a good system. Now you talk like an old guy. That was a good
Yeah,
system back
exactly.
then. DOS.
And it blew my mind. No, not DOS. I hated DOS, but Windows, what was it, 3.11? Yeah, that was what it's called. It was super good. It was, graphic user interface.
But do you know an operating system that was always working and never crashed? DOS. Never crashed.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, I guess. There wasn't
Anyway.
anything to crash. Now when your computer crash, it loads DOS. Like that's what it does. They call it like system preferences or whatever, but it's just DOS. So anyway, this is going off topic.
Yes. So let me talk about the game.
How's it going?
The game I played this month and I wanted to talk about. That's
Tell me.
Innis. And
Finish.
it's funny that I have played Innis many times in the last 2 years, and I thought that we have talked about Innis in this podcast, but I checked and we never did. And the only reason that I checked it was because I was trying to see when we talked about it, and I want to make a reference. And then I realized we never talked about it. So this is my memory again. So we're going back to my memory problems. But anyways, this is a game from Christian Martinez. And the artist is Dimitri Bielak and Jim Fitzpatrick. And it's not a very old game. It was published 2016. But it is now in the Board Game Geek Top 100. It's ranking 97 in the Board Game Geek. So it's a game that we should have talked about. It's a card game where you have played that, right? Have you?
I have not. No.
Oh, okay. So you need to know. It's a card game where you move dudes on a board for majority control purposes. That's the game. That's my description of the game. But not really, because the game has this famous 666, the number of the beast victory condition, where in order to win, you need either to have presence in 6 regions, or you need to have majority over other 6 tribes. Basically, a tribe is a miniature or a meeple on the board. Or you need to have presence at regions with a total of 6 sanctuaries. Sanctuaries are like, temples that you are building in the game. So it's 666 is the victory condition. And in the game, everything is card driven. There are cards that let you add people on the board. There are cards that you can build sanctuaries with. There are cards that you can move armies. And the conflicts are initiated when you move your people to a region with opponents. So if an opponent has troops and you move people there, then you have a discussion. If one of you wants to have a conflict, there's going to be a conflict. If you both agree that we can live together peacefully, there's no conflict. That's another interesting... because actually there's not a big benefit of a conflict or eliminating other people's tribes in this game, because as I said before, you need presence in a lot of regions. You need to have a lot of people in order to have majority over a lot of tribes. So nobody wants actually to lose people. The resolution of the battle is basically the defender removes first the troop, then the attacker removes a troop, then the defender, then the attacker. It goes like that if there is a battle. But of course, there's always cards that could be played and change the normal flow of events. So, can do different strange things. The beauty of this game is that all these things are done with only 17 unique cards that are drafted in the beginning of its turn, of its round, I would say. So the victory conditions are pretty easy to remember. They're easy to check. You can see always if the other people, they have, their presence in 6 regions, or they have presence in regions with 6 sanctuaries and such. And the different paths you can take to satisfy one of the victory conditions are really creating a beautiful chaos when you cannot really predict other players' moves, especially since sometimes these moves are restricted by the cards. And there is a lack of extreme diversity in the cards because they're rolling 17. And this is really helping the strategy, as you always know that there is a nope card out there. So you know that somebody will play it against you if you're winning. And, well, not really, because there's always one unknown to the player's card left out in every round. So there are 17 cards, but really 16 cards are in play in every round. But sometimes, in your turn, you can play a card or pass. These are your 2 options. If you pass, you can come back later and play a card again. But sometimes, like in the case you wait for someone to play the nope card because you want to wait and play your powerful card later and nobody will nope it, it's better to pass and wait for the other people to play their cards. But if everybody passes in one round, then the round is over and we discard all the cards and we shuffle again and we draft again the cards. So you have this dilemma always. The game is fast. The game is beautiful. The game is full of critical decisions. I think I love it. If I had one criticism about the game, it would be that between experienced players, especially in a 4-player game, if you claim a victory conditions, the other 3 players will gang up on you and usually succeed in stopping you. And this sometimes can delay the game significantly. But I guess it's also part of its beauty, because waiting for the right moment to strike is part of your strategy. It should be part, and you know when to do it. That's my 5 cents about Innis. I highly recommend it to everybody. I think it's very easy to learn. It's fast to learn, it's fast to play, and even if they have 17 unique cards, because they're only 17, it doesn't have this problem where you need to learn, the deck of cards like it happens in Twilight Struggle or other games. From the second game, you will know what cards are out there. So, do you have anybody that has the game there so you can play it at some point?
Actually, my friend Carol had it, but he traded it during this math trade. So he just lost the copy.
She traded
But
away?
yeah,
Dennis?
the reason I've been
I want
worried,
to.
not worried, but
I
like
really want to ask. I really want you to ask her, and I want to know why. Why would anybody?
I'll ask him. Sure, yeah,
Him. You said. I thought
um,
you said Carol.
yeah, Carol,
Okay.
yeah, Kirill. But I will. The reason I never like was excited about getting it to the table is what you said at the end, which is it's up to everybody to like tear down the person who's about to win. I've always kind of like I feel a bit hypocritical saying that because Pax Porfiriana, like that's the core of it. Like or most Pax games, like you have to stop other people from winning. The game's not going to do it for you. So I do like it in some situations, but in other situations, I find it infuriating. Like usually lighter games like Munchkin or stuff like that, like games where or Cosmic Encounter, like where people are their job is just to like screw you over to make sure you don't win. So I was a bit worried about that. It's never been like a reason I don't play the game. If it ever the opportunity arose, I would have played it. It's just something that's always been at the back of my mind. So I'm glad to hear you say that despite that being present in the game, it's still a beautiful and elegant and uh, good and eminently playable game. So I will look for another opportunity to play it. To be honest, I'm not too bothered if I don't, but I'm glad you like it so
But
much.
it's important what you said. I will check on that. Maybe as we get more experience, maybe this problem will appear more and more. So let me
Yeah,
see. Let me see. Okay, so that was Inis.
fantastic, excellent, and thank you. I'm glad you talked about that game. Um, I got to play a game as well. That is an old game. It's actually from let me check right now 2009, which is like a dinosaur in board game years. And that game is Carson City
Or
by
maybe you can
Javier
say
Georges.
it's the good days.
The good old days of the West. Yeah, exactly. But it Javier Georges is a. I mean, I love his games. Like Ginkgopolis is one of my favorite games. Black Angel is really good, and Trois, and he did Carnegie. Like he has a really good sort of track record.
Carnegie. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't
So,
know
but
that.
but the thing is, Carson City is, I believe, older than all of these. So it was one of his first games, and I think Black Angel is a very good game. Trois I know is very similar, and Ginkgopolis I think is a masterpiece. So I was excited to try it, and this one seemed lighter on rules and stuff. So I was like, all right, let's do it. The point of the game is you're building a frontier town in the old west. Cowboys going out in the old west and building up a little frontier town. What the game actually is at the start of each round, you're selecting a role, like Puerto Rico or Twilight Imperium or
Ah.
whatever it is. And that role gives you your turn order and it gives you a benefit of some sort. And then it's worker placement. So you're placing out your cowboys on actions on an action track or on like plots of land that you're claiming um, so you can build on them.
What are you trying to
And
do?
the action, you're building a frontier town and you're trying to get the most points. That's all. So,
Like
um,
a good
yeah,
frontier town.
like a good Euro. It has a track. It's not a co-op, so you're trying to build be the best at building that particular frontier town, which I imagine is Carson City. But there is a score track around the outside, so it's that kind of old-fashioned Euro. And the action is resolved in a particular track order. So think dominant species or whatever it is. So after everyone has placed all their action pawns out, in this place cowboys, then it's resolved in a particular order, and things always happen in an order, which is usually actually you do all the actions, the building, the stuff like that, then you earn money, then you score points. So you need to have money sort of left over for the next turn, because you don't have there are very few ways to get money before all the actions actually happen. So um, another thing you can do is multiple of you can go to the same location. So you know how in Three Kingdoms Redux, you can multiple players can go to the same action spot, and then you have like an auction almost, or a bid based on the general that's there. It's like that, but nothing like that. So you can both go there, but it's not elegant at all. Like, it's not an auction. You're just rolling dice. You're rolling dice, and
What?
you're adding the amount of guns that you have, plus the amount of leftover workers that you didn't use. They all count towards your gun total. So it's got that Wild Westy thing of like, I'm sure
Uh,
run you down, run you out of town, bro. And that's
this is my location to get resources.
I love it. Whatever you're doing, I love it. So the point of this, though, is that track is very elegant. So basically, the point is, like, you do all the actions, then you sort of earn money from your buildings, and your buildings, depending on the state of Carson City, will earn different amounts of money, and then you can score points. And the number one way to score points is to give up money for points. But if you give up all your money for points, you have no money left for the next turn's actions, which all require money to build and so on. So very interesting. Sort of, you have to like weigh how many points you want to buy, because it's only 4 rounds, so you only have a certain number of times that you can actually buy points, and you're desperately trying to weigh how many points you can buy. Also, points get more expensive in every round, so they're cheapest in the beginning, and every round points cost a little bit more. So you're desperately trying to figure out how much to give up for points, cheap points, but you need the money to get more points.
I love this
like that
mechanism.
Yeah, it's really clever. I really like that. Other things I really liked is the game is goofy as hell. Like, going to the same spot and rolling dice and being like, I'll chase you off of town. Like, that's so goofy. Another of the spots you can go to, I told you there's limited ways to like make money. You can go gambling. You just go to a spot, and then if you end up with that spot, if nobody chases you off that spot, you roll the 2 dice and you make however much money on the pips that you rolled.
Oh,
So like, yeah, it's got goofy things that show its age. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
that wouldn't fly in a modern game, but definitely of its time, that was clever. Haha,
That's fun. Yeah, it's what we call fun.
yeah. Sorry, I don't know about all that. Another thing is that I really like is, as people build on that sort of shared space, the values of your buildings change. So, for example, like, you get a plot of land and build a ranch. The ranch makes a lot of money if it has a lot of free space around it, because you're taking your animals out to like herd and graze and stuff. But then as other buildings encroach onto that space, the value of your ranch reduces. So it starts earning you less money as there's less free space around you, and stuff like that. So the number of mines you have will impact the amount that you get from another kind of building, stuff like that. So I really like the fact that it's not like, I built this building, it gives me $6 a turn. No, it changes depending on what's happening and the choices that other people make and you make. So really cool concept. And it's just, it's a good length for what it is. I think you play the whole game in an hour to an hour and a half, which is terrific. And it's
now you
4
fixed it,
rounds.
because all this time I was thinking I don't want to play this game, but now you're saying it's an hour. Yeah, it makes sense now.
Yeah, if it was longer than that, the goofy elements of like dice rolling would be infuriating.
How many
for an
players is it
hour-long
for?
Game, it takes up to 4, 2 to 4, I think.
Okay.
We played with 3, it was recommended with 3, and it was very good with 3. So yeah, it's good. And another thing is, you can be really annoying in this game, which is fun in a game like this. So like,
It's
in
fun
the
for
last
you
turn, me
because
and Cheng
you like being annoying.
That's true, I do. Me and Cheng were neck and neck at the end. And so in the last turn, I didn't really have a chance compared to the number of guns he had. But I was like, I'm going to try to take away everything he wants to do. So everywhere he went, I sent someone there. So
like a
fought
gank.
me for every spot. I mean, he basically won all of them, but I just irritated him. And Chang is usually a guy, he wins a lot. But when he wins, he's usually like, oh, just lucky. Oh, like he's not too happy about he tries to pretend like he's not brilliant. But this time when he won, he was like, yeah, I won. He celebrated. And I was like, wow, I really annoyed him.
Or maybe he didn't expect it because it's kind of there is
I
randomness
don't
in the game.
know. Maybe, but like it was close. I think it was a point or two difference between Cheng and I. So, like he was actually really happy, and I saw him celebrate, which was a nice thing to see. There are a few cons. One is the theme it shows its age. It's slightly racist. So basically,
How is it racist?
I'll tell you exactly how. So
Because
there's
you're
like
defending yourself from the bad Indians.
there's a Native
Oh my
American
God.
role. Uh, you're not defending yourself from the bad Indians, but let me find out exactly. Hold on. So the Native American in Carson City. Oh, I'm actually looking at actual Carson City.
But it's
The
not
board
that.
game.
It's not that
Here's
old.
no. Let me explain. Yeah, well, here's the thing. So you can gain some land, which is great, but it gives you like there's some sort of effect that's relating to the casino, and I was like, oh, it's like you're oh no, that's what it is. You're gambling on land, so you roll the dice, and if it's available, you get it for free, but if you don't get it, if it's already occupied, you don't get anything. So like the whole like Native American gambling thing, I wasn't a big fan of that. Plus, I think they call him an Indian in it, which is really weird.
No way.
There's another card.
Really?
There's another card
in
with a
2009.
Chinese dude on it. There was another card with a Chinese dude on it, and he's wearing an unfortunate hat. And basically he's like essentially like a Chinese railroad worker, and like you can get some stuff for cheaper. And I'm like, yeah, forced labor will definitely get you stuff for cheaper. So there's that. Be very wary of it. It's very prominent.
But that's I guess that's the illustrators.
Illustrator and the
Well,
choice of action to be
yeah.
to be tied into. I know you're trying to be thematic, but I don't know. So maybe it needs a
Yeah.
refresh. That'd be a game that needs a refresh, just to get rid of those slightly racist elements, which were, I guess, okay in 2009, or maybe they weren't. I can't remember. But the point is, the other negative thing I found was some of the roles seemed like less sought after. Like it seemed like we were all going after the same 3 or 4 roles that we could select from, and but I don't know because I haven't played that enough. Maybe there's some better strategy you can find with some of those guys that we weren't using. So that's not really a con. It's just something I noticed. And the other thing I felt, and again, this could be wrong because I have limited plays, is it seemed like the bulk of points were always going to come from money. And there were very limited spots to use that, to spend the money. Like you could get a few points for having land or buildings or guns, but not as much as you could get for money. So it felt like there was only sort of one strategy that was really worth going after. So, yeah, that's interesting. And so that's the thing to consider in the game. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but just little things I noticed. So, like, just overall, I thought it was a good game. I thought it was goofy. I thought it was fun. I thought it was very much a medium light Euro. And it has fun elements that work to the theme. The theme is a little, I mean, there are things about it, like the theme and some of the mechanics, like the casino, that show its age. But all in all, it's a fun game. It's not necessarily a bad thing for a game to feel like it's from 2009, but it's worth knowing that this game does show its age, but it's a good time. Don't take it too seriously. Hour to an hour and a half, play cowboys, build a town, get points that go around the track on the board. Carson City, man.
It's
Yeehaw.
it's a filler, right?
No, it's a game. It's 90 minutes maybe.
Oh,
So, uh,
so,
yeah.
but it's you sound like you don't really want to play it again.
No, I'd play it again. I'd play it again.
Okay.
I thought I, I had a really good time. I had a good time. I mean, I guess I felt like this isn't a main course the way that like, oh, we're playing
Yeah,
clinic.
let's go
Y-
to Kirill's
Yeah,
and play Carson City tonight.
exactly.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is more of like, well, we're going on our yearly, our annual cottage trip. Like, oh
Uh,
man, we just finished a really like tough game of tramways. What do you want to play? Let's play Carson City. Like,
yeah,
you know what I
exactly.
mean? Like, not it's not a filler, but it's not gonna make your brain hurt or
Yeah,
anything. So,
but it's not the main
uh,
dish.
no, it's not the main dish either. That's right. Yeah.
Okay,
So there you go, Carson City. Yeah.
amazing. Good stuff. Good stuff out there. I have a second game that I want to talk about. That game,
Please do.
it's so fresh in my mind because I played it before. What time is it? 6. I played it 24 hours ago. So, so I played Feed the Kraken. Feed the Kraken is an effort to make a better Secret Hitler. So for people that have played Secret Hitler before, it's exactly that. I played it yesterday twice. I believe we were like how many? 8 people in the first game and 6 in the second, or 9 and 7, something like that. The difference with the Secret Hitler, so basically, is that it adds a third faction in the game, the Cultist, which is exactly something taken from the game Tortuga. If you remember the Dutch guy there
That's
who
right.
is alone and he's balancing the game.
Yeah.
Uh, so the way the game plays is that we are on a ship, all of us, and we are sailors, but some of us are secretly pirates. And the pirates, they want to go to their cove instead of going to the harbor. In between, though, those two places is the cultists' island where the Kraken lives, and the cultist wants to, drive to ship the ship to this island so the Kraken so we all be sacrificed to his god. How the game works is that the captain picks 2 direction cards in each round. The sailors wants to go to the east, the pirates wants to go to the west, the cultist wants to go to the north, so in between. And then there is the captain picks a lieutenant, and the lieutenant also picks draws 2 cards, and he picks 1. So the card that picked the captain, the card that the lieutenant picked, they both go in a box. They're shuffled in the box, and there is a third character picked by a third role picked by the captain, the navigator, and the navigator, decides where the ship goes. It's really similar to Secret Hitler, whatever I said. If somebody has played that game, but there were certain problems in the design that we faced yesterday. Again, I only played it twice, so I don't have experience. But what I saw, there was one special hexagon in the middle where if the ship goes there, then the captain decides that a player from now on, for the rest of the game, is forbidden to talk.
Okay.
So in the first game, I was in one of the pirates. The pirates, we know each other. We close our eyes in the beginning of the game and we see each other. So one of the pirates was the captain, and he decided that my friend Zif shouldn't talk from the rest of the game. But the rest of the game is like more than half of the game. It's like half an hour. And he can communicate with the rest of the crew by doing charades or sounds. But it was really annoying for him, and I would
I'm
say
sure.
it would have been annoying for me, or it was really annoying for everybody. And because he was annoyed, he was also annoying to us, and so that really didn't help. So in the second game, we said no, we're not gonna play with that. Let's remove that. The other thing I wanted to say, the other problem I noticed was that the cultists, uh, there was a card that doubles. Basically, we all close our eyes, and then the cultist chooses one of the crew, and that guy now becomes a cultist. So in a game where you have like 5 sailors, 3 pirates, and 1 cultist, all of a sudden, randomly, one of the teams of the sailors or the pirates, they lose one of their team, and that's really strange. It really changes the balance. But I understand, maybe at the same time, if you think that the cultists are like neutral, maybe it helps balancing the game. I'm not sure. I didn't like that. Also, in general, I don't like in social deduction games uh, in the middle of the game for someone to change teams. I mean, what's the point of me having a
Yeah.
strategy the whole time and then changing team? I don't know. The third thing that I didn't like is that in the second game, I was the cultist, and I kept all my votes. There is a voting mechanism where you vote the captain in every round. I kept all my votes, my guns, for the last round in order to make a mutiny, and then I would be the captain, and I would, direct the ship to the Kraken. That was my plan. So I managed to do that. I had the most guns, but each of the players has a secret character card, and that card has an ability. And as I did that, it appeared that at least 2 of the other players could stop me by, not allowing me to vote in this round. Or, my gun is now, my number of votes are now doubled. So I found that very weak as a mechanism because, I mean, what's the point of doing all that and having a plan if anybody can fuck you in the game? But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if I knew that, I could have played in a different way, or I don't know. But I guess as a cultist, that's your only chance. I mean, we were in the middle. We were in the north in the last round, and I was trying to be the captain and win the game. I don't know. Anyway, what I liked in the game, I like the components. It's like a really deluxe version of a map and a nice miniature of a ship and colorful cards and stuff. The map is also very beautiful, and I also liked the idea. To be honest, I think the idea of having pirates and sailors in the same ship, but the pirates are not known to the sailors. I think I like it more than the Secret Hitler theme, where there are fascists and liberals, and there's a Hitler. I don't know. But for me, from what I've seen, I think that uh, the whole concept, it didn't work for me. At least not in the first 2 games I played. So I want to play it again, and maybe I will have a different opinion in the future. But that's my 2 cents right now. And that was Feed the Kraken.
Okay. I don't think I have any interest in playing this game based on your
Uh,
feedback.
uh,
Secret Hitler was okay, and this one sounds worse.
yeah, that's another thing that I don't even like Secret Hitler, but it is an improved version. I will give it that. I will give it that. It is an
Okay.
improved version
All
of
right.
Secret Hitler.
All right. Well, we appreciate you sharing it and also saying the things that you liked as well. So that's good to know. I also played. Well, for me, this is as close to a party game as I get to play these days. I don't play many, but it was a filler basically, and it's called Courtisans by Romaric Gallonier and Anthony Perron. Um, and it's a short, like 15, 20-minute game. And it's got really nice, good looking, colorful art. Um, the reason I was interested in it is the gameplay draws a lot from Biblios, and we love Biblios. So I was like, all right, like that sounds good. And basically, the main mechanism from Biblios is in this game, you're drawing 3 cards per turn. You have to play one to your tableau, one to the other player's tableau, one of the other player's tableaus, and one to the central tableau. And what is that? In the central tableau, there's like a table, and there's like some sort of like fancy royal dinner happening, and you're playing cards either beneath the table or above the table, and there's also some secret cards. And at the end, if there's more on the top of the table for each faction, each color, then that's worth positive points. If there's more underneath the table, then that's worth negative points. And then you look at your equivalent colors on your tableau, and if you had 6 green and it turned out that greens are worth negative, you get -6 points. In addition, you get a couple of secret objectives, and they can be things like, oh, the player to the left of you has more blue faction cards than you, and you would gain like 2 points for that, or whatever that is. But it's a very solid game. Like, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed trying to figure out people's motivations. Like, what are they trying to do? Why are they giving me all these green cards and stuff like that? And I find it very fascinating because sometimes they end up giving you points and like giving themselves stuff that's going to be negative, and you're like, why are they acting this way? Like, why are they kneecapping themselves? But maybe they're not. Maybe they have a whole objective that switches that around. But it's not the deepest game in the world. It is fun trying to figure out what people are trying to do, but it wasn't deep enough to make me come back. I'm happy to play it at the end of a game day, but you're not going to find me being like, let's play Courtisans. Like, that's not one that I would like seek out or carry or bring with me. But if somebody's like, let's play Courtisans, it's not like Scout for me. Like, if somebody, like, I will ask for Scout at the end of the day. But if somebody says, let's play Courtisans, I'm like, yeah, all right, sounds good. It's a nice light game. It's fun. It looks good. But the main thing about it is it really made me want to play Biblios, because Biblios is so much better. So much better. Like it's levels better, you know? And I just don't know why that game, I guess because it's older, it's lost a lot of love. But the good thing is that at the end of that game, we're playing with Carol and Chang, and Carol was like, we don't play enough of these fillers. And I was like, no, we don't. And I miss them a lot because I only play like heavier, longer games for the most part. Whether that may be financial, economic, Euro, or Ameritrash with the other group, but I still miss these fillers. And we were all kind of like, yeah, we really should make an effort to like throw in a filler at the end of a big game or before a big game. And so hopefully they all make a comeback. And I know that the next time it's on me to bring some games, I'll be throwing Biblios in the bag, and I'll be trying to be like, if you like Courtisans, wait till you play Biblios. So that's how I feel about Courtisans. Biblios is great. that's, that's my review of Courtisans.
Yeah, basically, that's very helpful, I would say.
Yeah. It's just so good, Biblios. It's really great. And it's a good game. Courtisans is a good game. There's literally nothing negative I have to say about it. Everything is great. It's just not very deep. And Biblios has so much hidden depth, you know, like how we were talking about Carson City with the whole, like, you got to know how much money to hold versus how many to go for points. Biblios is all about how much money to spend for books and how much books to spend for money. So it's about balancing so you end up with like sort of the right hand of cards at the end of it. So this is not a review of Biblios, but my review of Courtisans is it's a good game, no problems with it. I enjoyed it. And if you like it, you'll love Biblios. And that's where I leave things off. And on that shocking disappointment of a review, it's time for part 2 of our top 50 games of all time. I'll just give a quick brief. If you didn't watch the last
Yes,
episode
please.
or listen to the last episode, go listen to the last episode because we did our first number 50 to 41, and we explained the process behind it. Quick summary of the process is Ipo and I made our top 60s, and we sent them to Dima. We don't know each other's top 60s, and Dima gave it a weighted score from 1 being the most to 60 being the least, and then combined the two lists and took the top 50 of those, put them in one list. If things were tied on points, they were ranked the same. So instead of having a 50 and 49, it would be tied for 49. And that's basically how this worked. So without further ado, listen to number 50 to 41 in episode 47, the last one. Today we're going to do 40 to 31. The next episode, 49, will be 30 to 21. And then on episode 50, we're going to do the full top 20. And Dima's going to be on there presenting it. So Ipo and I will be reacting in real time to our top 20. So she's not going to be sharing that with us ahead of time. She'll also be sharing fun facts because news flash, we're all nerds here.
We love Dima.
We do love Dima, even though you called her something offensive earlier.
Even if she doesn't like Zendo.
So,
which is gonna be in our top 50, right?
I imagine so. I can't imagine it doesn't make it. So, okay. And if it isn't, I'm sure you're going to quit the podcast live on the air. So that'll be fun.
I want to say how amazing are you for taking all this time to explain to our listeners, while at the same time I managed to open my file, and now I know that we're gonna talk about number 40 to number 31 because I'm not an idiot.
Well done.
But and I'm gonna suggest you go first. And
right? You just don't want to say the name of this game.
I thought you would be happy to say it. I mean.
Well, it's tied, and so yeah. I've just talked a lot. Why don't you do number 40 and 39 because it's a tie. So for the next, we have a tie at 39. Ipo's going to tell you what that is.
Okay, so number 40 and 39 is Vijay Anagara, which is a GMT game that Elias likes a lot, and he talked about it 2 episodes ago, I guess.
Something like that.
It's such a good game. It's published in 2024, and it's already in Board Game Geek ranking 5028. While at the same time, there is another game in the same spot, in the same ranking, which is The Crypto, published in 2018. It's number 96 ranking in Board Game Geek, so it's one of the top 100 games. And I voted it in, my ranking was number 19.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about, I believe I had the Crypto in mind as well. Why don't you tell us about the Crypto?
Yes.
It's
basically,
for you.
Yeah, what I wanted to say about the Crypto is that is the best words party game for me. We played it again. I played it again 2 days ago, and it has this amazing self-balancing mechanism where, as you try to transfer information to your teammates, like you do in a Codenames game, the same information is being gathered to your opponents. So this makes you give clues that are more and more obscure in order for your teammates to know the clues but not your opponents. And this is also often happening with hilarious results. I have an example where the code name was the planet. So somebody wrote Mars. So with Mars, we know that he's referring to the planet. The second player wrote Wanderer. So, Wanderer, planet. It's like, I don't know. It's like the translation of planet from Greek to English. Then somebody wrote Hollywood. Because Planet Hollywood.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice, right? And see, yeah, so yeah, it becomes more and more difficult. And I think the last one was Escape. No, Escape to a Planet from outer space. Is it? No, is it like a space Escape from a Planet? The board game. Then there was a board game.
Escape from the aliens in outer space. It doesn't say planet at any point.
Okay.
But okay. I'm sure this
Uh,
person was very intelligent.
Anyway, so that it was the Crypto was number one party game in Board Game Geek, but it's not anymore because now it's Blood on the Clock Tower. So
Decrypto is an excellent game. I believe it was somewhere on my top 60. I would check, but I don't want to do that. So it's a.
it's all about stats,
Would you
Elias.
like me to check?
Yeah, people like
Well,
stats.
Dima's going to give us all the stats in the last game.
Ah.
If you're going to give them all early,
for
you're
all,
going to ruin
for,
it.
wait, for all 60 or just for the top 20?
She's going to give us stats like, the highest game on one of your lists that didn't make
sure,
it.
shouldn't
was
say what I
blah.
voted. Okay, yeah.
No, you're just ruining the enigma for everyone. Anyway, no, you do what you want, Ipo. But Decrypto, really good. No issues with it being on here. I'm glad it's on here. Great game. Vijayanagra, I rated it super highly. Obviously, that's how it got there because Ipo hasn't played it. But Vijayanagra is, if you like coin games and you like 3-player games, this one's brilliant. And it's not a coin game exactly, but actually I would say that it's even more elegant than the usual coin game. It's a little bit more streamlined. And before, my only criticism would have been, it seems impossible to win with the Delhi Sultanate, but I did win with the Delhi Sultanate, and it's just basically a balancing act. The other two have to be basically going at each other and keeping each other in check, so one of them doesn't run off with the points. And if you can do that, you can balance and win by a couple points or a tiebreaker, which is what happened with me. Terrific game. Really enjoyed Vijayanagra. We've talked about it recently, so if you want to know about it, just listen to that episode where we go in intense detail about how great Vijayanagra is. But I really recommend it for anyone who likes coin games, 3-player games, historical games, PAX games, card-driven games, anything like that. You will not be disappointed with Vijayanagra. For a first-time design effort, I highly respect it. And it's going to stay in my collection for a while. I can say for sure now it's my favorite 3-player only game. And I really...
What? Really? High praise.
Yeah. Yeah. Three Kingdoms is amazing, and it's second place. But right now, the way I'm feeling right now, Vijayanagra is the top for the 3-player games.
Wow.
And then Maria in third. So, yeah, there you go.
All right.
So let me tell you the next two, because we have another tie. I imagine that as we continue to go higher, there will be less and less ties. But in any case, these are amazing that they're tied together, because one game inspired the other mechanically. So this is our number 37. So 38 and 37, they're tied in together. And the two games are Puerto Rico and Twilight Imperium. And as you know, for Twilight Imperium took the whole role selection idea from Puerto Rico. That was part of the inspiration written in the rulebook by Kristen T. Peterson. So it's so awesome to see them around the same level. And there we go. Why don't you tell us, Puerto Rico is your jam, Ipo, so tell us why it deserves to be our number 37.
Wait, but the mechanism of Puerto Rico came to Twilight Imperium 3rd edition, I believe. There wasn't such a thing in the second.
Okay. I don't know. I haven't played second, but thank you for pointing that out.
Yes. So Puerto Rico was number one game in Board Game Geek for years. It's now number 44 in Board Game Geek. It was published 2002. I think I don't know what to say about this game. I mean, I played it 2 months ago, and the game still stands. I mean, it's really a classic. It's a game that engaged Sergio. No, you know Sergio? He doesn't like these games. He played Puerto Rico. He liked it. I mean, it was so fun. watching Sergio playing this game and enjoying it. And it's really, I don't know if I want to say recommended to be in everybody's collection. I feel that many times when we're 5 and we want to play something heavier, it's the best option. I mean, for me, right now it could be like something Concordia and Puerto Rico, especially for 5 players. What do you
Very
think?
bland choices, but okay. Yeah, Puerto Rico is fine. It's a good game. I enjoy it. It definitely feels old to me, and it's okay. I feel like what it did was incredible, but I feel like it is probably the number one inspiration for games that came after it. Like so many mechanisms, the way buildings work, the way farms work, and like putting workers on stuff, and the way that the roles work and how they play off of each other. It's so much like it's been an inspiration for so many games, but I just feel like I'd rather play other games most of the time. And I'm never excited to play Puerto Rico. And I had Puerto
Oh,
Rico and I got rid of it and I don't miss it ever. But
shame.
I respect it very much. Like,
Okay. Like
um,
Pelé.
yeah, considering like Pele, sure. Like considering it came around the same time as like Catan and stuff. Like this is like next level compared to
Yes. Oh,
Catan. So
that's a good point.
you gotta, yeah, you gotta respect that. Twilight Imperium, on the other hand, is clunky, takes too long, uh, has all sorts of things that decided by dice that you don't want to decide by dice because it's taken up half your day, and it's amazing. So, despite all of those, you can keep those problems to yourself. Twilight Imperium is incredible. The thing that is great about it is it captures the epic feel of a space opera better than any other space game, better than Eclipse, better than Dune, better than any of these. They all try. They all probably are better games in terms of design. They're not as clunky. They don't have as many things tacked on to the side, but it just doesn't feel epic. And I'm yet to play one that feels so epic as Twilight Imperium. And when I want to feel like I'm going through space and I'm building up an empire and I'm having political alliances and trade agreements and striking with a ground attack in this area and capturing the seats of power in Mechatol Rex, there's nothing like Twilight Imperium to make you feel that way. You have to be in the right mood, but when you are, it totally deserves to be in our number 37 game of all time. Fourth edition, I hear Streamlines have knocked off a bunch of edges. I still have my third edition with all the expansions in it. I have friends with fourth edition. I'd love to play it sometime soon. I'm still happy to play third edition. I think it's a great game. I don't see why to replace it at the moment, but maybe I will. Um, but I really enjoyed, and of course, I voice one of the characters in the official audiobook adaptation
Oh,
of
okay, that's it.
The Veiled Masters. And if you'd like
that
to hear that, check out the Veiled Masters, the dramatized adaptation, in which I play Tarak, who is a Hakan. I'm not going to tell you what he is exactly. Let's call him a Hakan trade ambassador who finds himself at the center of a massive galactic conspiracy. Yeah,
that
so that's our number 37 tie. Puerto Rico, Twilight Imperium. Any
that
thoughts?
that explains a lot. Okay, I want to be honest here. Twilight Imperium is not in my favorite games anymore. The last time I played it, I realized I had no chance winning. I was like 90 minutes into the game, and I had to stay there for another 2 or 3 hours. So it was really bad experience. In the end, I was completely annihilated, of course. And Elias, now as I talk about this game, I want to introduce you to a new term that I believe it will be very important in the future of board gaming, and that is
Oh, wow.
value for time. So, you are familiar with value for money. So now I'm gonna say that as my time becomes more and more precious, like as I'm moving on with my life in my elder
As you
years.
approach death.
Yes, you can. I feel that some games don't have this value for time element, and
Maybe.
I mean, I think
I
that's the thing. Yeah, I feel the same
I
about
think part of
Dune.
the reason it feels epic is the amount of time it takes. I
Yeah,
think if you condense Twilight Imperium into a 2 hour game, you wouldn't feel that
yeah, of course.
anymore.
Yeah,
So
makes sense.
yeah, but I understand. When you feel death knocking on your door, you might start to evaluate the number of chances you
I want
have
to
to
say
play Twilight
I want to
Imperium.
say I still remember when I was a new board gamer in 2003. I traveled to Athens. I went to a board game store, and of course I knew nothing. Like I had played Catan. That was it basically. And I say I want a good game, and he said I have a very good game here, but it's like heavy, really heavy. I said yeah, I can do it, whatever. And he brings Twilight Imperium Second Edition, and he sold it to me for 120 euros. That was
2003.
in
Oh
2003.
my god.
That was like I don't know, like half of my salary. I don't remember, but it could have been. But I bought it, and everybody was so thrilled playing this game. Even the second edition, which was even more cranky and even less, streamlined and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good memories with this
Exactly.
game.
And this, I think that we intentionally didn't put additions on our list. So like if someone goes for fourth and third, they're the same thing. But I think with Twilight Imperium especially, that's the point. Like the point is the epic experience and the theme and
Yeah.
the like it's not really so much how streamlined did they make it mechanically. Like
It's,
if that's
it's
what
a,
you want, go play. Like other games
yeah,
are better. So
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, excellent. That's our tied for number 37. So our 38 and 37, Puerto Rico, Twilight Imperium.
And moving on to number 36, it's Stationfall. Stationfall
Damn right it is.
was published 2023. It's a game by Matt Eklund. And in Board Game Geek ranking do you have a guess where it is in Board Game Geek ranking?
Is it, oh, right. I don't care what other people think.
Approximately. It's in
500?
1143.
Perfect. It's going right into the theme of the things that I like. So I'm happy to hear that. All the games I like are ranked super badly on BGG. So I'm more than happy to accept
They're
this
hidden
burden
gems.
of being the voice of the downtrodden and unrepresented.
Yeah, that's the whole point of having a podcast. If otherwise,
That's right.
people can go out there and just buy the first 20 games of BGG, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, Station Fall we talked about recently. It's an awesome game. I since talking about it, I've heard of a couple podcasts talk about it where they weren't super keen on it. And one of the things I noticed is if you treat it as like a role playing game, like I am the Astro Chimp, so like I don't like when other people are moving the Astro Chimp, and like I'm trying to do what's best for my character. It's a horrible game like that. Don't go play something else. Like it's not a role game. The point of this game is there's a bunch of problems you have to solve and you have very limited actions to do so, but you have many, 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 many different things that you can do. And it's a problem solving game. So you look at it and you're like, well, I need to make sure that this is off the ship. How can I do that? There's about 1 billion different levers I can pull. One of them might get it to me. Can I figure out what that is? And that's the brilliance of the game. It's problem solving the game, and I think they called it a box of creative solutions, and I think that's a really good description of it. It's also funny, and it's not a heavy game. Like you're gonna spend a lot of time like sort of like laughing about what happens unless you're again particularly attached to your character. Like there's ways around everything, and you don't even know how well you're doing because at the end you could have 6 points and win the game. So like you might be doing good. So really it's all about just like finding little creative solutions. And I love that because when I come up with something, I'm like shaking my legs under the table. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I hope nobody moves this character. I hope nobody moves this character. And I'm just like, I can't wait till they're like, what the hell was that? That's so, yeah. So I think it's really good. Station Fall.
I have the opinion that if I play the physical copy of the game, 90% I will love the game. But I have only played it, once in the tabletop simulator, and it was not a great experience. To be
Mm-hmm.
honest, tabletop simulator doesn't work for me. I don't think I had ever a good experience. But what I remember, I mean, what were the things that made an impression to me was that it felt that it was too many rules for a party game, and then I checked in the board game geek, the complexity is 3.88 out of 5, and to give you a comparison, Vijaya Nagara is 3 out of 5. I mean, so it's very strange. But at the
It's
same
not
time,
a party game. They call it the party game for heavy gamers, but it's not
uh,
a party game. Like
uh,
that's not a fair. Like
okay, okay, and at the same time, it's too chaotic for a strategy game, I feel.
maybe, maybe these are all fair criticisms, but I don't think it's any more chaotic than Pax Porfiriana. So in Pax Porfiriana, you could be working towards something. You have to beat what's called the tripartite at the end of the game, and somebody could just throw a wrench. This one person could come and close down your bank, and the other person could do a straw man action against themselves. And the next thing you know, the whole game is in a different state. I actually feel this game is closer to a PAX game than anything else. It's a constantly shifting game state. So I don't think it's too chaotic. I think that's its intention. I just think again, the package of it was like, oh, if we do it on a space station and make it look like a party game, people are gonna be like more willing to play it. But in its core, it's closer to a PAX game.
Uh, I
And
am, I am, I am
yeah,
one of them. I mean, I really like the theme, and
yeah,
I found the idea brilliant that you can uh, manipulate and control different characters until somebody reveals who he is, and that's brilliant, really.
I really
Okay,
enjoy it. So yeah, Station Fall.
Station Fall
Now
36.
moving on to our number 35 game of all time. And it's the game that Ipo once described as work. If you want to play a game, play Panamax. If you want to work, play Arkwright. That's our number
Not,
35 game
no, I
of all
didn't say it
time.
like that. I
You
said
said it
that
like
it
that.
feels more like work. It's a serious thing. It's like you're a manager in a factory, and you need to do stuff. You're not playing
Uh,
around here. Uh, it, I have only played it once. This game, I realized, in 2018, and
really?
yes, only once.
I played it like 4 times.
And I still feel it's better than Brass. And I
Oh
think
my
that
God.
and I think that Brass players are its target group.
I agree.
Uh, it has a board game geek complexity rating 4.59, which is one of the
Too
highest that
high.
I have ever played. And it has the same designer, Stefan Risthaus. The same designer made Gentes in 2017, which is a 90-minute Civ game that I want to play. I don't know if you have played this. I made this little note here because I want to know. I want to ask you if you have played Gentes ever.
I've
But
not. It's been there've been a couple opportunities I've had to trade for it, and I never went through with it. But yeah, it looks cool for sure.
but anyway, I really want to play again Arkwright, and to be
The group here
honest,
really likes Arkwright, so
really,
we get to play quite a bit. Yeah, and there's a couple copies in the group, so it's not just depending on me. So
how much
um,
time do you need to play?
I think the last time we played it, honestly, was under 4 hours. Wasn't so bad, but it's very much work, like Ipo said. The nice thing about playing with people that played it a bunch is you see all these different strategies. Like the last time we played, somebody focused entirely on basically foreign exports, and I hadn't seen that. Usually, it's very much about like making your factories run more efficiently. And the person won the game. I think it was Alistair, and I really liked that. I really liked that I discovered something that I hadn't seen. I can't ever get excited about Arkwright. It won't leave my collection, but I can't get excited about it. Like every time we plan a weekend where we're gonna play Arkwright, I'm like, oh God. Like I'm trying to have a day off. Like
It's work. We agree on that, right?
yeah. This is definitely one of those books Dima pulls out the notebook for and a calculator. You need a calculator for this one. It's math, the game, but it's good. And every time I play it, I'm reminded at how good it is. And it was on my list, and I imagine it was yours on yours as well. And that's our number 35 best game of all time. Arkwright.
Should I say what was my ranking? Oh, I mean,
No.
okay, it was 16.
If you want, see what you want. 16. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like to tell us what the number 34?
Of course, I need to tell you what's number 34, and that's Innis. Innis is the game that I talked about today, and so I'm only gonna say that it was in my number 14,
Wow.
and that says it all.
Well, I haven't played it, so you're gonna have to say more.
I mean,
Anyway, we've already talked about Inish.
yeah,
It's fine.
you can reverse, guys, the podcast episode and go to the beginning. And
Yeah,
go down.
rewind. Go back to the timestamp in the episode description, and then come back. So I'll move on to our number 33, and it's another tie. So 33 and 32 are tied. So both are number 32 game of all time. And I know which one Ipo rated highly, and I know which one I rated highly. And they are two co-ops, weirdly, for people who don't love co-ops. Pandemic Legacy, Season 1 specifically, and Gloomhaven. But under that umbrella, consider Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion, Frosthaven, etc. So, Pandemic Legacy. It was one of your favorite games for a while, wasn't it, Ipo?
Yes, and it has this it has this strange situation where you put this game in your top 60, where you cannot really ask yourself if you want to play this game again, because it's a legacy game. But there was this I want to have a similar experience again feeling, and this is why I included this in my top 60, and highly enough.
Totally.
Yeah. And also the evidence for this is that I bought Pandemic Legacy Season 2. But my wife now doesn't want to play board games anymore, so I have it on myself of dishonor. How do you call this?
Shame.
Yeah.
Shelf of shame. Well, my opinions have actually changed on Legacy, because back when I played it, I didn't enjoy the fact that, yes, the game was slightly changing, but you were basically just playing the same game over and over again. And I think the reason was it was basically the first Pandemic that I had played. And I know the first game is basically just Pandemic-based game, but I didn't have a love for Pandemic. So I think people who had played Pandemic a few times, they appreciated Pandemic. They had seen how you win, how you lose. They were ready to play it a bunch of times because they know that it's not just the same thing over and over again. But I didn't feel that way, and I felt frustrated with a game that made you play it 12 to 24 times. And the only thing that was getting better is a pretty poorly written story. I'm sorry, as somebody who works with books, like authors, board game designers are not the best writers overall, which is why Sherlock Holmes is so highly considered by me, because, consulting detective, because it is well written comparatively. But so it wasn't enough of a payoff for me to find out what the story was doing, because it wasn't a very good story. So I didn't find enough affection for the game, and that's why I kind of reacted very poorly to it. But I believe the reason was I didn't have that love already inside me. So what I would recommend is you don't start with Legacy. Play other pandemics, probably just the base vanilla one, and see if you love it. And if you love it and you can find the depth in it, then Legacy is something you will enjoy because it throws on top of it a whole other story and elements and change. So that's my recommendation from what I've learned. I'm becoming wiser, Ipo.
That's an excellent
wiser.
point. Yes, that's an excellent point. Because I was willing to
Yeah.
play Pandemic Legacy 25 times, and sorry, Pandemic Vanilla 25 times, but I played it with extra things happening, and it was so
Exactly.
cool. And later,
Have you ever played Gloomhaven? Or no?
Yes, once with you and Sergio.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can't really get the feeling if you don't do a campaign.
That's exactly my notes. I have in my notes here that it's not in my list. Why? Question mark. Do you think I needed more time to create a bond with my character or the game?
The game. Like, so Gloomhaven isn't I've never like felt like an affection. I feel like I like my characters, but it's not like D&D where like I'm thinking about like this personality trait and stuff like that. Like I'm not bonding with my character that way, but you learn how to play your cards better. And initially, like when you're selecting, say, your 12 out of 15 cards or whatever, 14 cards, you're like, why would anyone ever want this card in their hand? And then you play it a bunch of times and you're like, oh, because if I play it with this card before and then this one after, that would be incredible. And so you learn your character over time. And just when you get super good with your character, they're retiring and you have to learn a new one over again. And all I can say about Gloomhaven is I played a campaign in person and I'm now playing with another group online. Same thing, Gloomhaven. And I'm playing a Frosthaven campaign with Dima in person. And I'm not sick of it and I enjoy it. And I'm still
Wow.
learning my characters. And I really like it. And so it's just a really brilliant game. It's I'm not a big like I'm not a card guy. I'm not like a Magic player or something like that. And you don't have to be to figure out the combos, but you do learn how to efficiently run your character so you don't exhaust them too quickly. Um, and the fact that you can be incredibly powerful, but you use up your hand faster, and that's your stamina, that's your health. It's such a clever thing because you got to pace yourself and you got to learn how to extend yourself while having an impact. And then when the time is right, unleash hell. And that's kind of really why it's great. It's a momentum game.
Wow.
I really like it. So, Gloomhaven and Pandemic Legacy Season 1 are tied for a number 32 game of all time.
Both excellent cooperative games, I guess. By the way, the Pandemic Legacy is number 2 in Board Game Geek, and Gloomhaven is number 3 in Board Game Geek. So,
oh wow, okay.
So we're talking about.
I've changed my mind on Gloomhaven. It's a terrible game. I never.
We're talking about the most popular games out there. Moving on, number 31, and the last game we're gonna talk about tonight. It's Le Havre. Do I pronounce it correctly? Or Le Havre? Le Havre in Greek English. I think it's Le Havre.
English, French, Dutch. It's Le Havre.
There is a
Le
Ha. Do you say the Ha? I think it's not pronounced. Anyway, okay. Le Havre.
Le Havre? Maybe. I always said as Le Havre. But I might be wrong.
Where's the my one you need here?
I'll text her real quick.
Anyway,
the point is, this is what Americans called Le Havre. So
exactly. You're totally right now.
Is that your American accent? Is
that is it good? Am I doing it right? No. Am I from Texas or something? Anyway, I don't know.
No, bro. You're from Greece.
All right, maybe half Texan, half Greek. My mother is Greek. Maybe no.
Sure, why not? Yeah.
Okay.
Half Texan, half Greek. Lives in Chile. That's
Let's go back to this Uwe Rosenberg game that was published in 2008. It's number 66 in Board Game Geek, and it was my number 9. For me, it's the best farming game, and for me, it's
not a farming game.
That's a very okay. Let's yeah. I mean, you're gathering resources. Uwe Rosenberg is using all the same mechanisms, but in a better way. You're fishing. You're getting stuff, but then this stuff you can go to shops that maybe you open or other players are opening, and you make better resources or you upgrade them. And for me, it's Uwe Rosenberg's best game. It's not Feast for Odin, it's not Agricola, it's not Caverna, and it's not Fields of Arle. And I'm mentioning these games because all of them are in Board Game Geek Top 100, which is amazing. Uwe Rosenberg has 5 games in the BGG Top 100. And he has 5 games if I don't count the revised Agricola game, which is a special entry and a separate entry. And it's already number 75. What do you think?
People are crazy. I'm not like, I've bought so many Uwe Rosenberg games, and every time I'm like, yeah, it's all right. Like,
But
Feast for Odin, Caverna, Fields of Arle. Fields of Arle is my favorite till now. I like Patchwork. I think Patchwork's pretty good. And I'm very curious on Ora et Labora. Ora et Labora. I don't know how you say
never
it.
played that.
Me neither, but I've always been very curious about it. I haven't played Le Havre except on the app. And it's fine on the app. I don't feel like I should make a commentary of this game, but I basically checked it on the app to decide if I should buy it, and I decided not to buy it. So
Wow.
his games don't mesh with me, man. Like I don't know. I just feel like
And it's not like you don't like farming, right?
no, La Granja is one of my favorite games.
Yeah.
Like I think that's a phenomenal game. It's just okay. His games just feel like, well, I guess I'll put my worker there and get this stuff. It's the most generic definition of worker placement, which is the worker goes there, you get this stuff. And it feels...
So you like farming, but not in France. You prefer Mexico. Where's La Granja?
Well, I suppose you think La Granja is in Mexico.
Yeah.
It's in Spain.
Oh, okay, close enough.
But different continents. But yeah, Le Havre. It's definitely here because of your rating, and I don't think any Uwe Rosenberg games made my list. So this is probably the highest ranked one you'll see on this list. Spoilers. So
so it was in your list.
no, it was not.
Oh, it wasn't.
Absolutely
Okay.
not. Under any circumstances.
All
So-
right. Wow.
yeah, it seems fine. I would put every game we've talked about today over Le Havre, to be honest with you.
But you
I
never
would
played
rank
it.
Pandemicy, Legacy,
You haven't played the
Gloomhaven,
game. Wait.
Arkwright, Station Fall.
In the app, do you play with other players?
I was playing, I think, against just whatever. You're right. It didn't capture me, but like, I just don't care about this game. I don't know.
I mean,
Anything
if
is
you
very
don't like it,
contentious.
if you don't like it, you don't like it. What can I say?
Exactly. What are you gonna do? No, maybe it's great. I will try it if it's given to me. I'm not that.
No,
kind of
don't
person,
try it.
but-
No, I wouldn't recommend it to you. After what you said, I wouldn't recommend it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's also an old game. It's 2008.
So
So
is there any racism in it?
I mean, you're not gonna see something new out, like new mechanisms or stuff that you haven't seen before. So yeah,
Okay.
maybe I think it passed.
Well,
And
excellent. And on that extremely excited note, we're at the end of this tabletop session.
so
What were you gonna say?
I'm gonna say that we finished last episode with Dead of Winter, and now with Liaver, and now it looks like we're gonna finish every episode with a disappointment for you, which
For
I love.
me, yeah, it's
Which
just
I
gonna be
love.
one of yours at the end. Oh man. Anyway, thank you all for listening. Make sure to follow us on Instagram or YouTube at Tabletop Sessions. Join the conversation and share a fun story of board game shenaniganism. And let us know what your thoughts are on our top 50 of all time so far over at any of these: Board Game Geek Guild, Instagram, YouTube, yada yada. You can find the link to all of these in the episode description. And we'll be back in a month with our number 30 to 21, which is what Ipo thought we were doing today. So until then, to quote one of my favorite writers, God damn it, you've got to be kind. Say bye.
Tabletop top.
Bye, people. Stay healthy.
Tabletop. Tabletop top. Tabletop. Tabletop. Tabletop top. Session.
Stay healthy, motherfuckers.
That's my message to the world. I think
It's a good one.
I'm giving something here.
I think,
some wisdom.
yeah. I think you're basically Mother Teresa. I think it's.
I mean, it's wisdom coming from time. It's like stay healthy. It's important. It's not like
You've accomplished the same amount as Mother Teresa. Well done.